Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. CF Cane fan put it nicely. Game week here to talk about another week of Miami Hurricanes football. This time it's with an end game of real, actual, genuine football contest being played this weekend between your University of Miami Hurricanes and the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, a team and a rivalry that is, been a big part of Miami's rise through the 80s and then continuing on into the 2010s very recently. Storied, intense, violent, like all the things that you want in a good college football rivalry. It's there. Great nicknames, even if it is against us, the Catholics versus convicts. It's still pretty good nickname for a rivalry. So all that stuff coming together, a chance for Miami to start the season off on the right foot. But before we talk about that, Steve-O, our guy, will be with us in a little bit, coming back from the field, doing some training with the young receivers out there. But Bill, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing good. We did it. We made it. The countdown is coming to a close. We're just 3 days away after tomorrow. So kind of, I know we talked about it last week, but that was quick, right?
Yeah.
Obnoxiously quick.
That's the way it goes. Once that 100 days starts counting down, it's at 100. Then all of a sudden you're at like 80s. Then you're in the 50s. Then you're in the 20s. And then you're there. Like it just moves in bunches. You have all these other stuff, especially during the summer you got going on, that eventually it just narrows itself down there. So here we are, just a little bit of time. There's a couple of days ready to go before this game. We're going to obviously that's the focus of what we do today. We're going to talk about the matchups, talk about spots where Miami is at an advantage, talk about spots where Notre Dame's at an advantage, try to figure out ways that Miami can stop this impressive rushing attack. I know, waiting for Steve-O to come in because Steve-O's like, these guys are just straight cheeks, just a cheek factory over there at Notre Dame. But, it's going to be an opportunity for Miami's defense to step up on the national stage when you have what is a very potent returning Notre Dame rushing attack that helped to get them to, near the peak of the college sports or college football national ranks. Not quite enough, and we'll see if it's enough for us or for them to knock off the Hurricanes this weekend. But a lot to talk about. Talk about all those different things. We'll make our predictions as we did, in the history of our show. This year, remember, just like last year, we're gonna have to add one of you guys in there to make a prediction. Also, start making some crazy predictions, like a wild thing that might happen in this game. So get your ideas ready to go for that too. That'll be at the tail end of the show once we decide it's time to do the thing. All right. Thank you guys for tuning into the show. It's going to be a fun one here with football just on the horizon. Thank you for watching Through Live Canes.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska.
He's a stud, that Brown, number 98.
Irvin's got it. Irvin's free.
Slips to the outside, tries to stiff arm, and he couldn't get by Ray Lewis.
Big time players. Step up in big games.
Hard dog. Don't ask me for more. Hell no. Devin Hester up to the races. That's what they needed.
That's Ricks going up for Thorpe, and it's intercepted near midfield. Sean Taylor's got another one.
Who else?
Who else but Sean? Who else but us here to Wednesday night? Talk to you guys about the University of Miami's Hurricane football program and the big season opener. CF Cane fan posed a question before that it's definitely good to go back to. He said, does anyone remember a bigger home opener? A bigger home opener?
Not, recent memory, but
yeah.
Going back to those Labor Day games against Florida State, I'm sure there's probably one in there, but nothing really jumps out. We haven't been, good in a while. It's all been false positives.
Yeah, there's a website I know, on the Hurricanes website, it has every season schedule back to back to back to back. If I could find that and just literally go down the list of every single season, it's definitely not going to be it. But
we opened with LSU and Bama. We got shellacked, but those teams ended up not being good. So, this is probably the biggest home opener since mid 2000s.
Have to be, right?
Would be my guess.
Oh, here we go.
Found it.
I got a good one. All right. Let's go. Recent memory, definitely not. Nope, Florida wasn't here. Florida A&M, Bethune, Louisville, Florida Atlantic, Boston College, at Maryland, at FAMU, at Florida State. Florida State 2006 was 11 versus 12. That was at home. 5 versus 4 in 2004. That was the 3 times in a row. That was the Frank Gore game. That's where he beats Florida State in 2003. Then we beat him in the Orange Bowl. Then we played him again to open the season. It's a good one. Yeah, I mean, it was that would be it, right? It would have to be 2004. And before that, Florida State in 1988. Like, that's it. What is number 6 versus number 1? Yeah, you're not really getting any more than those. It's one of the biggest 3 home openers in the past lifetime of my Hurricanes football. And then I'm back in the 70s, and it's definitely not back there. So that's the level of game we're talking about here. This is as significant an opportunity for Miami to step up and do something great as we've had in the opener. And speaking of an opportunity to do something great, Steve-O's here.
Let's get it.
Usually my intros when I see Steve-O pop up in a little box are not tremendous, but I feel like really laid it out today. I think we did something great today, and I appreciate that.
It's a great weekend to be great. Great week to be great.
Steve-O, with CF Cane fans question, is there anyone remember a bigger home opener? It was going back decades, but just rank, like, not even worry about home opener, but think about the biggest opening game since when?
I would say 2018 LSU. It has to be. I mean, I don't think the hype going into that game was pretty similar. It's top 10 teams, going at it. I think that's the last time, at least at the top of my head, I don't remember an opener against anybody else, at least in the recent future. That's been on the scale of top 10 matchup to open the season. I think the last time was 2018 versus LSU.
Yeah, the level of significance. Yeah, LSU. I mean, the Bama game was before that. There really wasn't there. We played Florida, but again, not top 10 teams, not that level of competition. Thank you to Kirk Granger for the donation. He says, appreciate the late night content, fellas. Dedication at its best. I mean, if we were with you in the middle of June, I mean, how could we miss a day like today? Like this is the day we've all been waiting for sure. But thank you guys. Steve came in. Steve caught you on D Money Show the other day.
Yes, sir. It was a good vibe. It was good to be on.
And if you guys saw, also they had Mario on the show. D Money and the guys had Mario on the show before. Bill pointed out to me, but Mario's office, like it looked like a cubicle from 1997. Like that's the kind of office you want your football coach to have. Like that's like a high school defensive coordinator's office, and they were just like, I don't know, give him the room in the back behind the art lab or whatever. And he just has like an old desktop computer and a bunch of like filing cabinets with like old folders full of plays and stuff. But I mean, that's as pure of a football coach's office as you're going to get. But anyway, thank you guys for all tuning in. I'll go through some of the comments in a second, but we made it. We're here. Game week, opportunity for Miami to show the world what's going on. We'll do our predictions, all that kind of stuff. But I mean, like, let's just open with like most important thing, going into the game. What do you think? I'll go for each of you guys. So Bill, what do you think is the most important matchup in this game for the Hurricanes?
Run defense versus the Notre Dame rushing attack. Stating the obvious here, right? They're bringing in a quarterback that's never played a college game. Talented, raw, big time recruit, all that good stuff. But they have one of the best, if not the best, running back in the country. They're known for their offensive line. They're gonna they're gonna test it early. Then our D line needs to hold up. If we can get them into those third and longs that Hard Rock crowd is going to be something maybe we've never seen before. At least going back to at least 2017. But if we win that matchup, I don't envision Notre Dame scoring very often.
All right, Steve, same question. What do you think the biggest matchup is?
I think it's vice versa. I think it's the way our offensive line handles their defensive line, not just specifically in the run game, but pass protection. If they could run block and pass protect for Carson Beck, I think we score a bunch of points. And don't worry, Kurt Granger. Still have faith, fam. Still have faith. I got it. I got it. But yeah, it's definitely, I think, in my opinion, if we dominate the line of scrimmage with our offensive line, that means running the ball and throwing the ball. That means we are going to outscore them, in my opinion. That's the easiest way to win football games, is to be able to outscore somebody on offense. Obviously, we would like the defense to match, but even if the defense gives up a few plays, if our running game could do what we got to do, if our passing game has all the protection in the world, and when the running game's working, obviously that brings up play action, RPOs, things of that nature that give freebies to offenses with the tempo, I think we'll be just fine.
Now, there are some question marks, obviously, with the Notre Dame defense. It's not the unit it's been in the past where you had guys across the defensive line, where you have guy after guy who's a legitimate high-end NFL prospect. You have some older guys, but not necessarily the same amount of short things that you're seeing there. So this Miami offensive line is – go ahead, Steve. What do you got?
They got some 270s out there at D tackle. This is like 2017 size defensive line Manny Diaz, where, yeah, they were good because they were good players, but we saw what happened to this type of defensive line when we played Wisconsin. And we played that type of offensive line. So that's what I think Notre Dame, while I'm not going to say their D-line is bad by any means, because they definitely have good players on there, but just collectively they're more of a speed unit than a power unit than basically just last year. Even though they were a little smaller than Georgia last year, they lost a couple guys 300 plus.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that jumped out when they tweeted out their depth chart. I looked, and I think the biggest guy was like 301 or 302 or something like that. But again, that doesn't mean they can't be good or effective. We made a killing. One of our defensive lines were good recently with kind of guys on the smaller side, right? Even like a Gerald Willis was, maybe 300 if that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a pretty significant size advantage. Curious if that actually turns out to be an advantage for us.
Well, it's hard not to, right? If you look at the way Miami's probably going to run this game, Carson Beck obviously has the ability to win the game for Miami. We've seen him win games before, but your offensive line is is the group that you trust the most on the team, offensively or defensively, and they've proven that they have the ability to dominate and take over a game in the past. And we have running backs that, some guys in the chat have mentioned it before, but opportunity for the running backs to really show out in a big way. I mean, you have Fletcher and Lyle and all those guys ready to make some plays. So how much of the game do you think will hinge on the offensive line and the run game's actual play? Like, are we looking at a game where they're going to hand the ball off 35, 40 times? Is this going to be that kind of game, Steve-O? Or is it going to be, it will play the offense that we've always done, but then we'll just systematically find a way to get the ball in the air more?
It depends on how Notre Dame plays it and how successful they are playing. If they can't stop the run, we're going to run it down their damn throat. And yeah, we're going to mix in explosive passing plays. And, if Carson Beck only throws the ball 30 times, but he completes 24, 25 of them, and, we mix in a bunch of explosive plays, I mean, the passing game is going to be just there. The numbers will be just there, but we're just going to be physically dominating them. I think, you could see it turn into a 30. I mean, think about the guys who got to get touches in the backfield. I mean, you're talking about Fletcher, who gets better over the course of the game, Jordan Lyle, who both gets better over the course of the game. I mean, I would not doubt that you want to get the ball 10, 15 times each a game, especially if one's hot. I just wouldn't doubt it. But I do think that doesn't mean we're going to abandon the passing attack. I think it's just going to be less volume, but higher efficiency, and we'll run it down their throat. I don't think they could run with our guys. I don't think they could stop our run. I think it's going to be imperative to run the ball early and often, and then mix in the explosive plays. Yeah, I want to see the explosive plays off the rip, but I would love to see the offensive line settle in, let Carson Beck settle in, a drive or two, and then start letting it rip. call those things up. Now these guys have seen, okay, like Mark Fletcher, I got to tackle him. And oh my God, that Jordan Lau, like let them see what a drive of that tastes like, and let them know what they got to come up and feel all night.
Yeah, I mean they have like you said, lack of size in the line, and like their best players in that defense. The linebacker Bowen is good. Again, not the biggest guy in the world. They have a couple good DBs out there, but lacking those defensive line playmakers, and maybe there's the young guy stepping up. They're not a team that brings in a ton of transfers on defense. Actually, they have more incoming freshmen expected to play big roles in that defense than they do transfers. So it's the guys that have been in the system for a while. Third, fourth year guys just haven't really had the opportunity yet. So their ability to step in immediately on a grand stage down in as hostile an environment as they probably will have played in throughout the course of their entire Notre Dame careers. And we've seen some things like Ian Book came out and said, like, I never played in an environment like that when they came down in 2017. So, like, that's obviously going to be a part of it. But, Steve, you're actually going to say something.
Yeah, well, obviously, Notre Dame's a little younger because Marcus Freeman's been attacking. Obviously, Notre Dame's recruiting's been up. Obviously, a national title run would help with that anytime you make it to the ship, other than, like, TCU. But if you're a blue blood and you make it to the ship, you're going to have a great class. And so, this is what's going on in Notre Dame. It's a youth movement, to be real. And to be honest, I respect that. I respect not going full, portal mode. And, even though they lost a few guys, they're going to play some of these guys. So if they hit, they hit. Doesn't mean they're going to hit day one. But I respect it. But I definitely think we got to use that to our advantage, especially if we get up early. Some of the young players that have those big roles, those are the ones who might not be watching the ball. We get them off sides, get a free first down. We can start, piling up some mental mistakes because once freshmen are in that situation where they're chasing, we can show them a little bit of cheese and make some plays with that.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman's a very, very good defensive coach. As Bagging Up was alluding to right there, pretty much very just fundamentally sound. In terms of just assignments and tackling and all that. So, but it is hard to, if you're just losing up front, it's very hard to scheme against that. Will we have an advantage? If we do, how much? But, this Notre Dame team, at least defensively, isn't a team I think is going to, beat themselves with, a whole bunch of mistakes. Offense, you never know with a, freshman quarterback or a redshirt freshman quarterback. But Notre Dame secondary, Leonard Moore is, getting first round buzz. They got the safety transfer from VT Stroman too out there. So they have guys, I think, in at least in the back seven, maybe a little more unproven up front.
That's really where like you said, that could be where the whole thing turns, and the ability to push people around. And if you do look at Miami's receiving group and Miami's weapon group on the outside versus the Notre Dame secondary, where they do have some more guys, the guys you mentioned, Christian Gray, a couple other players back there, Schuler, like other guys that could step up into big roles. How does Miami's receiver group, tight end group compare? And will Carson Beck have the opportunity to take advantage of those guys? And like, are the receivers going to be ready to go? And like, obviously some guys like Daniels and I've played in big spots before, but Steve, do you think those guys are going to be able to make plays against the secondary?
I think Notre Dame's going to come out and say, they're going to mix it up. Marcus Freeman's a great coach. He calls great games defensively. He coaches his teams great defensively. Everybody understands that. But we have a great offensive coordinator as well, who knows, hey, this is a glaring thing on his defense. Like what Bill just said, it's hard to scheme around five guys pushing your guys. Like, it's really hard to scheme around that. You could have great linebacker play, and you could just, maybe get run down give up a couple first downs and, shoot a gap and get a negative play and then try to get off the field. But other than that, it's a long day. So I think they're going to try to be aggressive with helping out, especially if we start off good with the run game with some of these blitzes. And that's when I think Carson Beck pulls one of these footballs and just lets it rip. I think, they play some one-on-ones on the outside. I think we have some one-on-one demons. They're going to have to show up, though. Jojo's going to be a one-on-one demon. Mally is a one-on-one demon. They're going to have to do it in front of everybody on the bright lights, but they are one-on-one demons. I think CJ Daniels is a one-on-one demon. And a guy that you're probably not hearing much about, but with his speed, that's a number one. That's a one-on-one demon. Just because if he gets one step on you with Keelan Marion, like he's taking it to the house. Like he doesn't need much separation once he starts his stride. If he's even, he's leaving. So we have some players that can make plays one-on-one. Ray Joseph, another guy who can create separation with his explosiveness, looks really good. We have some guys that all can win one-on-one. Josh Moore can go up and get it one-on-one, two-on-one, to be honest with you. So we have a lot of guys that even though they got some talent at Notre Dame, I know Canes fans have been going at one of their corners. I love it, to be honest. I think it's a little overrated, but I get it. I like interceptions too. I like game changers, but that doesn't mean you can just give up 100 yards every game like Diggs for the Cowboys. I think he's the most overrated corner in the league, but he has incredible ball skills, and I give him that. I give him that. But yeah, a similar situation. So I think we have a lot of one-on-one guys, and then Elijah Lofton in a one-on-one situation with a Notre Dame linebacker on him. I can imagine it. Right? I can close my eyes. I see the neck pad right now. Oh my God! Throw it! Throw it! Throw it! Throw it!
Yeah, if I'm Notre Dame, I'm manning up on the perimeter. Probably Leonard Moore against JoJo and maybe Gray against CJ. So slots and tight ends, I think is going to be where the money is made. So a guy like Tony, and that's again he's a true freshman. We were just talking about with Carr, being his first game as well. So I mean it's a lot to put on him, but. I think that slot, and we talk about all the time with Dawson's offense, where the slot eats, right? So Miley could have a big day, or Ray or whoever's in there. I think that's kind of going to be where Beck looks, because he's not afraid to throw over the middle. So that's where your slot and your tight ends are going to make their money.
Yeah, and Miami has guys in those roles. Like we've been collecting slot receivers, and like you said, we saw what Restrepo has been able to do. He was in that role from Miami, and we saw the guys of the years. Braxton against Notre Dame obviously has, his history with his celebration and all that being one of the prominent things. But so it's happened before. And let's look at specifically at the quarterback. Because do you ever say the quarterbacks are dueling, and because they never play against each other directly? But I mean, it's as wide of a gap between two quarterbacks as you're going to get in a matchup of top 10 teams, right? You have a guy who has been to the highest levels of success in the game of college football. And then you have a guy who is starting out exactly starting out his career as a college football player, staring each other down from opposite sidelines. And we talked about it before, but it seems like the general positive opinion is shaded more towards the Notre Dame quarterback than it is the Miami quarterback, because the Notre Dame quarterback is a guy we haven't seen. So let's just expect him to be great, but we have seen Carson Beck have great success in the past. So mentally going into a game like this, and Bill, go to you first. This is it's a top 10 matchup in the prime time at Miami in a stadium that is going to be raucous. if I could use a word that's usually applied to crowds and energy. It's almost impossible for Carr to come into this game and know how to handle a situation like this, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, especially if maybe some Miami fans are throwing eggs at the buses again. Things like that happen. It can probably rattle someone, and I'm assuming just based on who his grandfather was, he was probably playing in some against probably really good competition, but maybe not so much in rough environments, so to say.
Yeah.
So I think probably the first quarter or so, if you can force a turnover, get at least a sack, just something to kind of keep them rattled. But I think if you let him get settled in and make a bunch of easy throws to the flats or hitches, and kind of build up that confidence, maybe he does settle in a little bit better than we would expect. But we really need Bain and whoever else on the D line just to get after him early, make him uncomfortable, and that could lead to a lot of big plays going the other way.
Steve-O?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm that kid and I'm seeing all this, and he probably doesn't look at Carson Beck the way media is trying to portray Carson Beck, to be honest with you, as a freshman quarterback, he's probably looking like I've seen Georgia play in big time games the last 3-4 years with Carson Beck there. Obviously, he's a 5th-year guy now. So it's just like I think there's going to be as a freshman year, first time trying to outdo him for sure. I think, in my opinion, because this is your time to make a statement. That's how I would think about it. Just my opinion. Like, it's time for me to put myself on the map and, knock this guy out of here. And everybody's going to be talking about me for, even if we lose the next 10 games, they're going to be talking about how I outdueled Carson Beck. So I definitely would assume he's taking it like that, just because if he's a competitor, he just won a job. I mean, I don't think there's any more. You can't get more confident after winning a job. He's also been reprimanded in camp a couple of times for putting the ball in harm's way because he's a gunslinger. So you love to hear things like that. So I would think maybe that's his mindset going in there. And then when it comes to mindset going in, and then that first snap comes and you feel that Ruben Bain down your neck, and it's the loudest you've ever heard. It's the loudest you've ever heard. And it's just like, oh my God, I can't feel it.
Mm-hmm. No. And that's really what it is. It's that initial, like that first drive, those first couple plays, like, if Miami kicks and Notre Dame starts with the ball, if first play, Stuff Love, second play, Ruben Bain sack, like everyone's going to be there for that third down play. And like that kind of momentum, that kind of energy from the beginning, thinking back to stuff like the Hester kick return again, like that kind of energy, like immediate pop of the crowd. Everyone's on the same page. This is the thing we hope we carry with us. But obviously things can go either way. And if you do flip it around and look at what Carr could do against Miami's secondary, which is something that, we haven't really brought up yet with Miami. I'm really the entirety of the Miami defense, this new look defense. And I was backing up and referencing before how we had some trouble last year, beating blocks and making plays against lesser offensive lines. I mean, I don't know how much of last year's defense we could even it's almost like you just burn all that tape and just move on and pretend like, forget it. We that was it. Like, that was terrible. We blew it from a schematic perspective from the minute, like, we sat down on Mondays to get ready for practice. All right. That was a waste. That was a loss. So I don't think I could take much from that, but like, look at this Miami defense, especially the Miami secondary. Like, if he's a guy who puts the ball in harm's way, like, you reloaded that group with guys from all over the country, basically, to come in and try to win jobs there. So, like, your mindset of this freshman quarterback now looking at what Miami's secondary looks like, Steve, where is this secondary going to be as far as it? Do we have the playmakers to make good on those plays that are those passes put in harm's way? Do we have guys that can tackle? If they do catch a ball, that would keep some of these pretty talented receivers from shaking loose. Do we have those guys?
We are going to find out Sunday, because I would love to tell you we do. I think we do, because they're not the guys that you saw miss tackle after tackle after tackle last year. So you got to just expect improvement. It sounds great what we've heard. I've seen it up close a couple of times. It looked a lot better, to be honest with you. Just size, that corner size, a D-line, a little bit more fundamentally sound breaking down safeties. I think they tackle way better in the open field than the last group we had. And that's just, a big upgrade. I mean, with Thomas and Poser back there, and they're just way better tackling as safety than we were witnessing in that corner. Tackling last year was difficult as well. And even though that's kind of weird, because corner tackling has been a strength, for Miami. Daryl Porter, Jaden Davis, that 2020, that first run when we went against Texas A&M, they were dogging guys at the line of scrimmage, and they were winning one-on-one tackles. I mean, that's why the defense was huge, but we'll see. I would love to tell you. I personally, in my heart, believe it, but I believe it every year. I believe it every year. But this isn't more like belief. This is more like, all right, I'm seeing it. I see the change, but I still got to see it at Hard Rock to fully okay, this defensive backfield is fixed. I personally do think it's fixed. When you have a group that performed that badly, the way we cleaned house and brought in, is exactly how you would want him to attack the position. I mean, there's no other avenue you could have did. Some guys leave, some guys graduate, and you got good high school kids that can come in and compete. You already had one in OJ, and then you grab. You got a corner fighting for 4th or 5th in Brantley that was a starter at Michigan State. For multiple years. That's how deep the corner room is now. I mean, there's nothing else you could have imagined or dreamed about for attacking that room.
Talk about trying to make life difficult for Carr. If Notre Dame, their receivers are very good. I would imagine like OJ lining up against Greathouse, and then your big corner, Xavier Lucas going up against Malachi Fields. But you tighten up those windows, right? Maybe make Carr hold the ball, split second longer. Maybe make them think a little bit harder. That's when those mistakes happen. If we let those receivers just run free through the secondary, as we've seen in the past, I know it's a new scheme, new players essentially. It's going to be rough, but you can't give up any big plays through the air. That's how Miami loses this game, right? They could probably sell out to stop the run, but if you let Carr, get a few off, these receivers can make you pay. So safety, tackling, all that is going to be crucial. But you just have OJ and Xavier Lucas do exactly what we think they can do, and more so on OJ's side, we've seen him do it already. That would be a big way, and just making Carr's life even more miserable.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Now, on that note, and we're gonna get to our predictions in a second, but not including Carson Beck, because that's obviously the easiest one. If we were to come on the show next Wednesday, and one of the first talking points is this guy had a huge game, which guy would you say? If I say this guy had a huge game, would you say, oh, we won the game? This guy had a huge day. We won this game, no question about it. Like, what player, besides Carson Beck, because that's an easy one, but player had a huge game, and you're like, yes, if this guy has a huge game, we are probably going to win that football game. I'll go to you first. What do you think?
I'm honestly going on defense, and I think it's either between Ruben Bain or Toure. If one of those two change the game for us on defense and limit Notre Dame, and I think the offense is going to be successful. I just really do. If our game changers step up on defense, I just think like Hurricane Bain, like this is the moment. Like this is when you really cement that nickname into history, versus this is the type of matchup where you cement your name in history. So I'm gonna go Bain, and then if not, I would, Torrey would be it. I'm sorry, Bill, if I'm taking one of yours because I said two, but those would be mine.
Oh, good. Well, obviously, I think the answer is Bain, but my second pick would be Justin Scott. That 5-star defensive tackle. If any defensive tackle, really, you could say him, Moulton, or Blay, interchangeable. But if any of them have that type of game, where you're disrupting from the interior, both against the run and the pass. Again, Notre Dame's not going to have too much success, especially if Bain is Bain, and then you have one other D lineman step up and have a dominating type performance. But I think it would be Justin Scott if it's going to be anybody.
I'm going to go to the offensive side of the ball, and I'm going to go. The only question I was back and forth between was Fletcher or Lyle. Like, which one of those two I would say? Because, like, if I say Fletcher had a huge day, then we're probably talking, 23, 24 carries, maybe like 140, 150, and a couple of touchdowns, something like that. Like
15, 16 carries, 140, 150, a couple of touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we're going Lyle might be like 13 for $180 and like 240 plus yard touchdown, something like that. But if you give me one of those two guys, if we're saying like the running game was dominant, like that level of success, or even if you want to say Lyle, because that means Fletcher probably ate too. I would be pretty confident that we did all the things we're supposed to. Because if the running game is dominant and they're able to move the ball consistently, then I know Carson Beck could take advantage of a defense that's trying to find a way to adjust to it. So I'd be good with that. All right.
Lyle was actually my offensive if I went that way, because if he has a big game, we're getting big chunk plays, and that just bodes well all around.
Yeah.
That means he's running like 22 miles an hour, trucking somebody downfield.
Pulling those like long gainers. Yeah, I think I agree. But anyway, so like we'll see how that goes. Now, if this happens, now go to the flip side. If this happens, I don't know. I wouldn't go like player necessarily as a bad game or player for Notre Dame as a good
I don't
game.
even want to put that type of juice out there. Nah, like, can we? Yeah, what? Nah, I'd rather not even put that juice. It's not gonna happen.
All right, fair enough. Then we'll go to the most exciting part of the show, and we will go to our predictions. Then, if you follow the show and you've been a part of this thing for a while, the predictions are like as close to religious to this program as you're going to get. This is the most important part of the show. And historically, the best picker has been Bill, only because he's
8 years going.
The only one of us that is cold-blooded in some cases and going. But I already know what the.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, bagging up. This is your day. It's your day.
If we have often changed it to billing up for things like that, because sometimes the negativity can be there. If bagging up has Miami with the win in this one, I'm 100% going to say bag it up is the guest picker, the chat picker for the day. So bag it up. It is your day. It is your call.
Yeah, starting off with a banger. I see you, fam.
Bagging up. Like he's been bagging up. I feel like Bill last week said he went back and forth. Like, I don't know, back and forth on it. But I could see bagging up just sitting there staring at his computer screen, saying, like, looking at that 20-17, being like, I don't know. I don't know. He had ND in there. He deleted it. And Canes, I deleted it. All right, bagging up. Congratulations. You're the guy. All right, so let's go around the room. Steve-O, prediction.
I'm saying 34-13.
34-13.
Is that Miami or Notre Dame?
I don't have to say he only has one career fumble loss. But yeah, everybody got to protect the ball. Everybody got to. Yeah, he's feeling me. No bad juju. What type of fish is that? Is that a catfish?
What's that? I'll bring it back up.
It looks gnarly. Look, that's what's good. That's what's up. He got 954. I don't know if he caught that in Broward, but that's lit. I like the fish.
You big fishing guy, Steve-O?
I haven't in a while, but used to a lot.
Look at that. What kind of fish you like to catch, Steve-O?
Anything that bite the bread.
All right, got some other picks.
You got to just cut those boys go. Let them go.
Got Cane fan, Miami 30, Notre Dame 24, XRP Plumbing, which ironically is a picture of a leprechaun. I assume Miami winning 50-3. I respect it.
I respect that.
SB1,
You got the profile pic going.
38. They're trying to sponsor the show, XRP Plumbing. Bill, Google it. Google XRP Plumbing. See if we can give them a plug real quick. SP1, 38-17. Back it up. We get it done at home. Liking it. XRP Plumbing got to win a natty. I like it. Back it up. Turtles are fish. B-Harb, 17-16.
That's a nail biter, bro. Yo, that's a nail biter. 17-16. That's got to be like last play of the game. They go for 2. They go for the win. And it's like Nebraska all over.
I got you.
Found an XRP Plumbing on LinkedIn.
It's a investment / cryptocurrency, Bill.
Yeah, he dropped it in the chat.
He clarified it. For us.
Okay, I got you. All right, never mind.
About to talk about toilet
Drowning
installation.
in the corner. Nah, drowning is like 50-6 or something like that.
We had it. Let's see. All right, so we got a lot of predictions in there. Steve had his.
Wide
Bill
range in the chat.
But you want to go last as the defending champ? Usually I don't give you this kind of courtesy, so you want to?
Yeah, I'll go last. I don't want you to Prices Right me week 1. I'll wait till Bethune for that one.
Canes say 954. A lot of positivity coming from the 954 today.
What's the? Yeah, exactly. Where's the? Hold on, I'm checking to see where the line's at.
2.5.
I got
still.
I have to do math because I like to play the game out in my head a little bit.
Y'all can do Hard Rock up there in New Jersey.
Yeah, we do anything in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You could bet on like
Yeah, I put it in
squirrels
for
fighting in the
plus
street.
one. When I put in my solo bet, we were plus 110. I'm just trying to see.
We're plus 120 now, at least on DraftKings. But over under a 49.5. As Chris continues to think. I was just in Atlantic City like 2 or 3 weeks ago, XRP.
Miami 27. 27. No. Miami 34.
Jesus Christ.
Miami 34. Notre Dame 24.
34-24.
34-24.
UNC,
Is the weather going to be
both
an
had
issue?
the same
Is the weather an
34.
issue?
Right now it's like 25% chance thunderstorms up until
It's gonna rain
8
early.
o'clock.
It'll rain early. I don't think it'll be a issue at night, but it can change. We could be talking about, oh look, something's coming in on Friday or Saturday, so you never know in Florida. But I think we'll be relatively fine. I don't think it's gonna be like raining like how it was today, where you can't even see the car in front of you on your way home. I don't think it'll be like that bad.
All right. We're down to the last one. Down to old Billiam over there.
All right, here's where we're gonna go. Thinking about it all week. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game because I think both teams are going to struggle a little bit in the red zone. So field goal kicking, important. I'm going to go 23-20 Canes.
I mean, I don't think I'm just going to say this without looking it up because I feel like I don't need to. I don't think Miami has ever lost a game where backing up and Bill both picked the Hurricanes. In the history of their lives. I'm backing up. I don't know how old you are, but in Bill's 46 years, however old he is, like I don't think it's ever happened where like backing up and Bill have picked the Miami Hurricanes and they've lost a game. I can't imagine. Right? It's like this. It only happens when it's like Bethune. That's the only time it's ever happened. All right, well, that's step one. Step two. Bill, you kind of like led the step two part. Like, so what else do we got to do?
We have our crazy predictions. So start throwing them out in the chat. I'll get mine started because I've had this one in my mind for a week.
Okay, real quick. Remember, chat. This is like a ridiculous thing that might pop, like a once in a season, maybe twice in a season type thing that you think might happen in this game. Every game has something ridiculous happen. What ridiculous thing do you think is going to happen?
So I'll go first. So my prediction was 23-20, and my prediction is a Burt Auburn 50-yarder for the win.
Burt Auburn, the cold as ice, kicking the 50-yarder. All right, hair just flow, prominent out of the helmet. I like it. Backing up has Lyle for 150 and 2. CFK fan, Notre Dame only scores field goals. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I think that's creative.
That might be it, CFK fan. Big Lows, 3 non-offensive touchdowns between both teams.
That's a good one too.
SP1, Lyra Fletcher.
I got a coin if we want to flip one.
3 kickoffs, returns for touchdowns. I like both CF Canevin and Big Lows. We'll let it go out a little bit. Like we'll let it sit there a minute. We'll go back to it. We'll see.
If CF Kane fan is right, that means like we win. So like we're all hoping that happens.
Yeah.
Unless we lose a game like 12-10, which would just be miserable.
Because of Burt Auburn missing a field goal at the end. Yeah. Missing a field goal for 50 yards. Kickoff. Opening touchdown. Sebastian gets a penalty running on the field. It's always a funny one. Notre Dame is less than 100 yards through the air.
Yeah, I'm going 200-yard receivers.
Oh, wow. Wow.
2 100-yard receivers, so 2 receivers getting over 100 yards.
Yep, not counting Lofton, who is in
Yeah,
tight
Bill,
end.
that's what that means. So what else could the hell else could that mean? Bill?
He's just
I thought you meant
clarifying.
like a 200
Two receivers
receivers.
equal 100 yards. Yeah. Oh, it's so tough.
100-yard receivers.
If that's a once in a season thing, we are screwed. Back to
Opening day.
50. 2 freshman receivers get 60 and a touchdown. Lord Bakington is here.
Great name. Lord Bakington the third to you.
He took someone out of his cleats.
That's probably gonna be every day.
Oh man. How about this? Miami forces a turnover on 2 consecutive drives, and one of them is taken for a touchdown. 2 consecutive drives with a
You should
turnover.
have just said kept it at 2 consecutive drives.
Because I feel because it's in my head, Steve. Because if I hedged my own bet, it wouldn't have happened. I had the belief, and I had to bring it to the world.
Right.
Now,
Turnover,
come
2
on.
consecutive drives with a touchdown mixed in there.
Yep.
There's one at the bottom that's hilarious. But I don't want to say it, but it's hilarious. We can laugh at things like this because we've already experienced our frustrations and we've moved on. But
Right.
that was a good one. That was
We
a
have
good one.
healthy growth, Steve.
Yeah,
Healthy growth. All right. So, which one do you guys like from the chat?
That's tough.
I think we're still back with. All
We can flip a coin.
right. So,
We'll go-
CF Kane fan said Notre Dame only
Wait,
scores field goals.
CF King Pen, heads or tails?
Oh, you're gonna make him call it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make him call it, so you can't blame me. What am I gonna flip
Okay.
a
All
coin for?
right. CF Kane fan, heads or tails? If you win, CF Kane fan, you get Notre Dame only field goals. If you lose, then Big Los gets it for 3 non-offensive touchdowns between both teams. CF Kane fan is called tails.
Tails never fail. I dropped the damn coin.
Wait! Before you look at it, do we pick it up and we go with what it landed?
Nah,
on?
I gotta redo because I
Let
dropped
me
it.
get
Trash. Damn, tails.
tails. There it
You guys
is.
can't see, but it's
Yeah, we
big
can't see any of
tail.
that. It's just a little white circle. It's like an
All right,
orb.
so it's
Tails, yeah,
Notre
it's a
Dame
quarter
on the
got the
field.
eagle.
All right.
Yeah, I definitely dropped. I went to go move my arm up and I got caught on the damn arm of the chair. And I was like, oh.
All right, there it is. So CF Kane fan. Notre Dame only scores field goals.
It's
pretty
locked
good.
in.
Big Lo's. Big Lo's devastated. We gotta get you back, Big Lo's, because Steve-O screwed you over, Big Lo's.
Yeah, man, my bad, dog. You probably would have had that first one, bro. It looked like heads, I ain't gonna lie.
The first 3 scores of the game are all going to be non-offensive touchdowns, and we're going to be like, oh, sorry, Big Lo's.
Yo,
Just 3
oh my
kickoffs
God.
back for touchdowns.
Yeah, literally. Just boom, kickoff, boom, punt return, boom, block field goal to the crib.
He's going to be watching the tape of this other show, looking to see, trying to watch the flip as it goes to see which one it was on.
We'll have to invite him on the show if that happens, honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, Big Lo's, be ready. If it's back-to-back kickoff return touchdowns to open up the game, you could come on and host the show next week.
Yeah, what's the host?
And that would be someone else's.
He
right
said
here.
3 non-offensive touchdowns between both teams.
Yeah.
Someone said we opened the game with a kickoff touchdown, Devin Hester style. So that would mean everyone's right.
Yep. I like it.
Yeah. If anything, yeah, you come chill with us next Wednesday if we get 3 tutties. Feel terrible. Fun with them. I muffed the coin.
Oh man. All right, so there you have it, guys. It's the predictions are in, the crazy play is in, all that stuff is in. A lot of positivity over here from the Hurricanes faithful in a game. Like you said, the numbers are changing, adjusting a little bit, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be a Miami home game against an arch rival in an environment where not a lot of people would want to go in and play. And just to touch on that real quick before we get out of here, Steve-O, you've been to a lot of games. Hard Rock, like you've been to a lot of Miami home games overall. What was the craziest environment you've been to, and do you think this will top it for this game?
November 11th, 2017, versus Notre Dame. The very next week, or the week before, the Virginia Tech week was rocking. It was rocking. And then the Notre Dame game came, and that was the loudest I've ever heard any stadium ever in my life. Obviously, I go to more, you already know I'll be tweeting live. But I've been to a lot of stadiums, but I go to more, Miami games than anything. And it was loud, man. I was just at last year Miami versus Florida at Florida. The Swamp is loud. I'm not going to act like it's not. But it was nowhere near. That roof is a cheat code. It keeps the noise down there. Like it just hits different. Like in the other stadiums, it's so loud and it just floats away. It's so loud here and it just stays, like it's just humming above you, like you can't get rid of it. So it's definitely I think will it top it? I don't know. I think maybe it could reach that status. I just don't think anything could be possibly louder than that night, honestly, unless there's another Trajan Bandy, the true freshman. Like I just don't see it. Like I think we could just get back to that. That was 10-0. I think capacity wise, we could just match that. I just think that just has to be. I'm not really too focused on beating that memory and that night in my head. I think it was just the best night possible. So if we could just replicate that, I think that would be a tough task. But I think it's going to be there. A lot of seats are going to be taken up, if not all of them.
It's an opportunity. They better be. They better be. This is an opportunity.
Notre Dame will travel well. They travel well regardless. And this is, as much as we clown on them, Catholics versus convicts, it's a rivalry to them too. Yeah. So, if we're juiced up playing Notre Dame, I can imagine as a Notre Dame fan, you're juiced up playing Miami. There's games that we don't talk about where Notre Dame got the upper hand on us. So this definitely, is a rivalry. So I expect them to show up too.
And they remember last time they came down too. So it's, some of them may not want to go for it, and some of them really want to go because of it. Yeah, it's so loud in here.
She had a helmet on. She needed to get out there, help them. Why is it so loud? I'll never forget that girl. She's iconic.
She probably wouldn't have thrown that pick.
She would have been on the bike next with Adams.
Yeah,
he didn't want to get back out there.
No,
we won 2 Heisman trophies in one night. Crazy. One night.
Love to see it. Hey, you get another opportunity in this game too. If Jeremiah Love walks out of there with 17 for 52, if that's his line coming out of this game, then
you go rebound though. First game of the year.
I don't know. Not for Notre Dame. I don't think for Notre Dame. I don't think they have enough like premier games to get his stock all the way back.
They're gonna
beat out a quarterback.
But as long as we're their only loss, they'll be shooing to the playoffs. It's Notre Dame.
He'll go to New York and do the whole thing, take some pictures. But like, if you want to win the thing, they got to be undefeated.
Well, they play Texas A&M after us. They have a bye after, which is kind of weird. But they go
and they got a banger with Stanford. Well, let me not talk ish about Stanford because we play them and then watch them just be like freaking Andrew Luck prime when we play them. But they just lost to Hawaii. That was like one of Notre Dame's like tougher games.
Yeah, this
is
it.
USC is not good.
Their schedule is pretty cakey. After us in Texas A&M, it's really just Boise, USC, at Pitt. Pitt might be decent, and then like Syracuse.
I can't talk about Syracuse. They beat us, but I definitely don't see definitely a difference from their schedule last year to this year.
Crib going all caps, hyper fired up. Love to see it. Crib 305. No quarterback making his first time or whatever, coming to Hard Rock and winning. Like to see it. Blue. Miami going to drag the arson on Sunday. And my boy Blue. Good job. Old school reference there. Watched it last night. Good work.
I like that red, white, and blue American flag use symbol. That's pretty cool.
This feels like a logo that high schools all around the country would steal for like their military appreciation games. And just like there's a school up in New Jersey that just stole their Miami U and just changed the colors. Very frustrating. Very Union.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I get it. Union. Just let them be. They're probably not that good.
They're not good at all.
Yeah, just let them be.
Anyway, speaking of not that good, Notre Dame after this Sunday.
I'll see you, Chris.
That's what I do, man. That's what I bring to this show. But anyway, that'll do it for us, guys. It's an exciting week. It's the opening of football. I mean, Saturday is a big day. As garbage as week 0 was, and I think everyone kind of pretended week 0 it barely didn't even happen. Like everyone was like, "Yeah, week 0, sure." It was like almost like the last week of preseason. Like, yeah, okay, you go ahead and play. Or the
Like
JV games, like the little kids are out there before the game starts. Yeah, guys, go ahead. Have
It's like
fun.
the most disappointing week 0. You had a good matchup. It was sloppy, right? It was like raining in Ireland. But after that, it was like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Backing up.
I watched that Stanford Hawaii game. So I seen their true freshman quarterback, through 7-on-7. He was with Trillian and then DEFCON. So I was just curious to see how he does. Alahada, and they won. And I was just like, damn, Stanford, we let you into the ACC. And you're over here taking L's to Hawaii. Like, oh my God. This is why FSU and Clemson said no. This is why they said no.
Yeah, Stanford.
Yeah, they didn't want to split you no money, but this is why. Because Basuda.
Stanford dead forever. Forget it.
Yo, that's crazy.
Here's a big question in the chat, which I'm sure will be valuable. Like to talk about, does FSU beat Bama? I know you were joking, CFK fan, but I'm treated it serious. Predictions on that one.
I don't know, man. I know the only players I know on FSU, Weezy's out. So he's missing this game. So that's gonna be big for Florida State. Do they have another receiver who could do anything that Weezy can do? I do not know, bro. I think he might have been.
He went to Colorado.
I think that might have been their hope. Squirrel White was definitely good at Tennessee. Is Castellanos the type of quarterback to bring out his highlights? Obviously, he was a downfield threat. Is his downfield passing going to be, to that level? Because I do think Squirrel White's done it versus Bama, a couple of times in his career. Yeah. So he might be ready to go, but is the quarterback going to be able to, get him that ball? I don't know. I just
Steve, you're talking a lot to say 52-3 right now.
Yeah, it's just I don't see it. I mean, I just don't see it at all. I don't think Bama is going to be that good just because I'm with everybody else. I love the fall of Bama with Nick Saban retiring. I'm with that. I think Kevin DeBoer is a great coach, though, and him getting back his OC might be kind of cheat code if they get some of them athletes running that system how they had it out in Washington. That might be like really, really hard to defend. But other than that, I don't know. I'm with everybody. I'm tired of Bama. I'm tired of the SEC rhetoric. I would never vote for FSU, but if they could at least make it a game, I would be happy.
So 52-3.
45-7.
A tight one. Snug.
Yeah.
Snug.
Is it at FSU?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because that time way back, was that with DeAndre Francois? They ruined his career, or that was the other guy? Bama tore him up. Oh God! If I'm Castellanos, I would have watched that film before I transferred to Florida State.
He's been running his mouth quite a bit.
I like that though, bro. I'm not gonna hype no Florida State player, but bro, imagine your quarterback talking that ish, like like that feels good. That gotta feel good.
If you're a 5'3" quarterback, you gotta tone it down a little bit, though, right?
If you have to step on a little pedestal to get to the microphone, you really can't talk trash.
I mean, Johnny Football did, but had to too. But I mean, he was. All I know is I like the talking trash thing. Do I think it backfires? Probably not. They're gonna probably get clapped anyway. But it's gonna make for some nice headlines when they're and they're rolling the score at the bottom of the screen, 45-7, and he's running for his life back there. And regardless, we've seen him play at Boston College. He made explosive plays with his legs. Everybody knows that. He's going to be a tough guy to tackle consistently. Yeah. But, man, that's going to be a long game. Having to duke and dodge for 4 quarters, they are going to get to you.
Yeah, I'm going to go
52-3. I'll go 38-13.
Oh, Bill.
You think they score 13?
13 points?
Two field goals, a late touchdown. Who knows?
Come on.
Maybe Castellanos gets lucky and Alabama doesn't send their team out for a play. I don't know.
He's dangerous with his legs. They go man, he takes off. He's liable to create chunk plays. We've seen it versus us. I know we're not the best of defenses, but he's just explosive. That's his strong suit for sure.
Here, XRP Plumbing said, "Are you guys doing a show during the game?" Steve will be there, and Bill and I are way too negative to watching the game. Way too negative watching the game to ever be able to do a live show and have people be entertained. Unless you're like, it'll be us and back it up, just going back and forth.
Catch us Wednesday.
Hyper positive before a game,
Twitter accounts.
Super negative during a game. Super. Even Bill sometimes is like,
I don't even talk. I barely talk during the game. I just sit there. I'm just locked in, and then because everybody loves to just ask me questions during the game, so I just always put on my non-approachable face, and then like only people that know they can approach me at all times. I talk.
Can we see the non-approachable face?
I'm locked in. I be zoned out, like zoned out.
I do one more time, Steve.
When I'm in that seat, bro, I am locked in. Every time else when I'm out that seat, yo, Steve-O was goody. I got you. I'm in that seat, man. I'm locked in. I be trying to. That's low key how I do my film reviews. I remember plays and I run home and wait for them to be posted.
That's what we like to see. Steve-O locked in, getting his work done, memorizing stuff. Me and Bill just cursing at each other, cursing everybody on the field.
Pretty much.
Telling our families they got to get out of the room like we can watch the game.
Yeah, yo, you was sitting over there. Now look at us.
I can't remember which game it was, but I watched an entire second half of a game because I went in my son's like playpen in like the living room, and Miami started doing good, so I just sat there the whole game because I can't move. I have to start doing good.
I think I said last time I watched the first half. I watched the first half of the last Notre Dame game on mute because the game started on mute because I was trying to put my son to sleep. And so like I was rocking him as he was trying to get him to sleep and watching the game on mute. Then he fell asleep. So I put him in his crib and I came downstairs and we were up. So I was like, all right, I guess it's mute then. So I just watched it on mute.
That's nice. Your own commentator.
Do what you got to do. Anyway, that'll do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in for the show. Obviously, it's a really great week for Miami. Hopefully, that continues on through the weekend and the party keeps going on to next Wednesday. Still, like a lot of stress coming in, but like, hey, it's the way the season is. You want to win big games, make it into even bigger ones? Well, we'll see how it goes. That's the program we're looking for. But before we get out of here, Bill, final thoughts for the people.
It's also the best week one, I think, in college football, or best week one in college football history. You got 3 top 10 matchups, even some good games Thursday and Friday night. So it'll be a party leading up to it. Hopefully Hard Rock is rocking. It's a zoo. And hopefully 2017 happens again. That'd be great.
That would be nice. Big Lows, all about trash talk. Steve-O, final thoughts for the people.
Let's get it. Pack the rock, wear orange. Obviously, if you can, support everybody. Everybody, go ahead and show up. And I'm excited. I can't wait. It's the first game of the year, and at home, I can't wait. Literally, I can't wait. Not gonna let any potential weather get me down. I'm ready to go.
Let's see it, Steve. Let's see it. All right, guys, that'll do it for us. Thank you all the people over at CanesInSight for allowing us to do the show. You guys want to throw a quick Ohio State Texas prediction out there? Like quick, like real.
I have no
Texas
idea.
31-27.
Texas.
Yeah, I just rather Texas beat Ohio State. To be honest with you, I don't really think I have any hatred towards Texas. To be honest, I think they've got what they got every time they played us. So. I guess Texas 28-24. I think Ohio State has a really good quarterback. Obviously, Julian Sayin played with us, our 7-on-7 team, and he is really good. So I definitely think he's going to be really good. But is he as good as Arch Manning week 1, or is Arch Manning as good as Arch Manning week 1? We'll see.
That's a great point, Steve-O. It's a Chip Kane fan, big Texas guy, or more like a big anti-Ohio State guy. I think Ohio State wins. I think Ohio State puts up some points, so I'm going to go 38-31, Ohio State.
Curious how they guard JJ, a.k.a. double.
Prayer.
Oh, boy.
Pour
Yeah,
some of
you-
that oil on the field. I don't know, man. You got not much.
You got your
Evo
D-
attack.
you got your DB coach out there giving help over the top.
Yeah, you don't have much. Again, hope that he doesn't show up. Hope that some Texas oil guy just gave him $40 million to just chill. wait a couple of years. But anyway, that's it. We're actually done. Thank you to everybody over at CanesInSight, D-Money, and all the guys. Thank you to you guys for watching and enjoying the show, jumping in the chat. Always appreciate it. It's the best part of it, interacting with you guys. We will see you guys again next week right here on 3 Live Canes, hopefully talking about a Miami win.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska. He's a stud, that Brown, number 98.